Hello. What I thought I'd do in this tutorial is return to quests and do a quest which requires you to kill an NPC and then return and turn in a quest. So to begin with, I'm going to make two NPCs. Actually, first I'll make the voice type so that I don't have to go back and forth. So I'm just going to call it tutorial voice type, like that. And I'm going to create two NPCs who I'm going to make completely and utterly identical in every single way. But I presume you'll have something in mind for if you want to create your NPCs. So I'm just going to call it Murder Tutorial NPC 01. And then give him a name. I'll call him Quest Giver. And give him a short name. Giver. And I'm going to give him that voice type I made earlier, the purpose of which is to block out any default dialogue that he might say. And we're just going to check him unique. Okay. So now I'm just going to go over Murder, and I'm going to double click on him, and I'm going to edit his ID to create an exact duplicate of him. But again, I'm assuming that you have some kind of system that you want. And I'm going to call it Murder. Victim, Murder. Victim, short name. I mean, you'll never be able to speak to him, so his short name doesn't matter. But, and yes, we want to create a new form. So now we're going to want to create a quest to handle our quest. So we're going to go to character, quests, right click, new, and I'm going to give it a unique ID. So, murder tutorial quest, quest name, kill that man. It can be, yeah, that can just be whatever you want. Priority 45, and then we're going to give it a type, which will just be side quest. We don't do miscellaneous, otherwise it won't come up as a proper quest. It'll come up as one of the miscellaneous objectives. Do side quest. And we're going to hit OK, and when we double click back in, all the rest of this stuff is here now. So we're going to start by creating two different aliases. And so I'm going to create, first of all, an alias for our quest giver NPC. So I'm just going to call it quest giver, and I'm going to go unique actor, and from our drop down menu I'm going to select Murder Tutorial NPC 01. I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to right click new reference alias, and I'm going to do a very similar process for our second NPC. I'm just going to call him Murder Victim, and unique actor, look for the murder NPC that we just made, Murder NPC 02. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click Allow Disabled, because this NPC is going to start the game disabled, just so I'm just kind of forcing a linearity in this quest for the sake of the tutorial. So if I press Allow Disabled, that means that this alias will still fill even if he's disabled. And if you don't press that, then the alias won't fill, and the quest won't start, it'll just be glitched. So we're going to hit OK, and you do need to hit OK, otherwise something which I'm going to do later won't show up. And I'm just going to save my plugin really quickly, Murder Tutorial Mod. And now I'm going to dive back in. So I'm going to set up my stages first of all. So we're going to have 3 stages. We're going to have stage 10, right click new, stage 20, right click new, stage 30, right click new. And these aren't going to do desperately much for the moment. I'm just going to click complete quest down here for stage 30 because this will be our final one. So I'm going to add some designer notes now. So we've been given the murder quest, and now I'm going to create a fragment here. So I'm going to set objective displayed 10, 1, and compile that. Yep, there we go. And now for number 2, I'm going to add some designer notes. We've killed the NPC. Time to turn in the quest. And now I'm going to put set objective completed 10, 1, set objective displayed 20, 1. And there we go, that's fine. And click over here, and I'm just going to put for designer notes, we're done. Now these designer notes won't show up at all in game, this is just to prompt us exactly what's happening. I'm going to create some quest objectives now, so I'm going to right click new, and I'm going to put index 10. And so this is the objective that we were talking about when I put 10 in the previous stage. So I'm going to say kill the man. I'm going to right click new, and for target alias, you'll see when I click, the two aliases we created earlier appear. So we want to have our target for kill the man be murder victim. And so then we're going to create a index 20. So this will be the objective we set to display when I put brackets 20 earlier. Return to the first man. And I'm going to right click new, and I'm going to select quest giver to be the alias for this. So now I'm going to hit OK again. I'm going to save, and I'm going to put our NPCs in the world. So I'll return when all the cells are loaded up. Okay, so I'm in the game again, and I'm going to click and drag my NPC01 into the render window. Just holding Z and rising him up, and then hitting F just to make sure he's exactly on the floor. Then I'm going to click and drag NPC02 into the world, and they look exactly the same, so hopefully I won't mistake which one is which. Whoops. And spin him around there. Top to the ground. I'm just going to double click on him now, and you can see here this is the correct one. So I'm just going to call him murder NPC ref. I don't think we'll really need that reference ID, but it's probably best to give one anyway. And I'm just going to click initially disabled so that we can sort of cheat our way to some degree of linearity here. So now I haven't set up any of the scripting for this quest, so we're going to launch back into Alright, I'm back. Don't you just love the creation kit? So what we were doing before is we were about to go back into our quest and work on some of the scripting. So I just better check actually. I did, yeah, I've placed them in the game. So yeah, I saved immediately before that crash, so we haven't lost anything. So we can get to go into the quest that we made before, and we're going to head over to the quest stages because we're going to put a little bit of scripting in here. So we just put the NPC in the world and we disabled him. But we're going to want to make sure he's enabled when the quest begins, i.e. when stage 10 is set. So we're going to need to create a property and point it toward the alias for the murder victim NPC. So we click add property, we're looking for a reference alias, here we go. And I'm going to call it murder victim. And yeah, that's already pointed us to, because I gave it the exact same name, it's already pointed us to the alias, so the property murder victim within murder tutorial quest is picking the alias murder victim, and that is what we want. So now we're going to put in murder victim dot get actor ref open brackets close brackets dot enable open brackets close brackets. What this is doing is it's getting the actual reference of murder victim, which is the guy in the world that we put, and enabling him. So if we hit compile, nothing will happen, and that's good, that's what we want. So for the final phase, we're going to want to give the player some caps. So we can go into properties again, and this time we're going to want to create a misc object property, because we're going to be pointing at the misc object caps001. So if we put in caps001 and hit OK, that will default us to the misc object caps001. So I'm just going to put in player.addItem. No, sorry, not player.addItem. I'm thinking of the old game.getPlayer open brackets close brackets dot add item open brackets caps 001 comma 100. So that will game.getPlayer is just like player.addItem. There we go. Nothing's happened, which just means it's worked. And so we're just adding the item cap001, which is the name of a property pointing to the item cap001. So don't get confused and think that I'm just putting the name of a misc object. And then 100 is the amount we're going to add, so the player will be given 100 caps when this quest is completed. And I also realised we didn't add any completion XP, so if I hop back over to quest data and look at quest completion XP, we can assign the variable here, so we'll go for XP, and it's showing us up here. So let's just put XP low level smaller, so it's a teeny tiny amount. And now we've got one final little piece of scripting to add in, and that is the scripting which will run when we kill the NPC. So the best way to do this is we're going to go over to quest aliases, and we're going to look at murder victim, and when we double click in him, he will open up, and here papyrus script name, we're going to add a new script. Now if when you open this nothing shows up, just press OK and just OK out of everything so that you've got everything closed, then come back into your quest and it should appear again. So we're going to look for default alias on death, Oh, here we are, it's up here. Default alias on def. And now you're probably wondering, why do I keep using default scripts? Why not just write a script of our own? Well, unlike in the old GEC, scripts aren't saved with a plugin. So every time you create a script, it creates a whole new script in your folder structure. So if you don't want to end up with loads and loads of cluttering of scripts, I find that this works fine. So just using the default stuff. I mean, you will end up making loads of scripts anyway because of all the flipping fragments that you have to make. But you know, this is just so much quicker to just use the default ones. So dead self-explanatory. Stage to set. What this will be is the stage which is set when the NPC dies, which in our case we want to be 20, like that. And because we don't need to point it to a quest, because it's an alias script, it will point to stage 20 of whatever quest this alias is in, which in our case is Murder Tutorial Quest. And at stage 20, we've killed the NPC, time to turn in the quest. So it sets objective completed 10, it sets objective displayed 20, and objective displayed 20 is return to the first man. So now the final thing we're going to want to do is create some scenes for this. So I'm just going to save my plugin in case of another crash. Go back inside. And we're going to go to scenes, and this is pretty, this is pretty much what we've done in the past for tutorials, for dialogue. So Murder Tutorial Quest Scene 01. So this will be the very first scene which plays when you speak to the NPC for the first time. So we're going to hit Player Dialogue, and this will show up. We hit right click New Actor, and we're going to select Quest Giver because he's the one that's going to be doing the speaking. Double click and Start Greeting, and we're going to need to give the greeting topic an ID. So I'm just going to slap greeting at the end of that, like that. And now we're going to give him a response text. So I'm going to make my dialogue like as short as possible, but I'm imagining you have like a proper dialogue thing you want to play out for your mod. But I'm just going to say, hello, I need your help, okay? And this will come up, and we're going to condition it with, first of all, a getIsID condition to point toward our quest giver NPC so that only he says the greeting. So we're going to look for Murder Tutorial NPC 01. And now we're going to use a getStage condition. getStage, and it will default to the quest we're in equals 0. So he will only say this greeting when no stages of the quest have been set at all, which is 0. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to add a new phase at end, and I'm going to right-click, New Action, Player Dialogue, and all this stuff will come up, but I'm only going to use one line of dialogue in the positive response. I'm just going to have a player say, I'll do it. So we're going to accept the quest without even listening to what the guy wants us to do, because that's how we roll. Okay. Okay, and then the NPC is going to say to us, good to hear it. I want you to kill my enemy. There are some caps in it for you. Okay, and now we're going to go to set parent stage 10, which is we've been given the murder quest. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to head over to this MISC section here, and under the infos I'm going to create a new greeting, and I'm going to just put get on with it. So I'm going to have to cough. Sorry about that, I will cut that audio out so you don't have to be assaulted with my coughs. I'm just going to put get on with it, okay. And I'm going to put a new getIsID thing, and I'm going to search for our NPC again, our quest giver NPC, who was it was Murder Tutorial NPC 01. There he is. Okay. And I'm going to add a new getStage, which will be Murder Tutorial Quest. And this time, this one will play when the tutorial quest equals 10. Copy all conditions. I just copied all conditions so I can make it quicker for next time I have to add conditions. And I'm just going to hit requires player activation. I should have done that for the first one as well, just so he won't auto-greet. Requires player activation, and those Fs will appear. So now this won't set any scenes in particular. This will just set up. This will just be an out-of-conversation greeting. So, probably the easiest way, you could make this whole thing... Actually, that would be good. Let's make this whole thing one greeting. So we're going to double-click on phase 1, and we're going to go to start, and we're going to add a new condition. So we're going to do getStage, Murder Tutorial Quest. For this scene, this phase to play, it has to equal 0. Okay. I'm just going to double click back in this and just hit end running scene to make sure the player is definitely booted out. So this stage will only play when the stage of Murder Tutorial quest equals 0, i.e. we haven't spoken to the NPC at all yet. And now I'm going to add a new greeting. I'm going to right click new, and I'm going to put is it done, and I'm going to start that scene, and it's fine to put phase on. So I'm going to paste these conditions in, and this time I'm going to change the get stage to 20. So this greeting is what we'll play when we've killed the NPC and stage 20 has been set. Okay, and you can see that greeting has appeared here. So now we're going to add phase end, and I'm going to double click in here, go over to start, and I'm going to add a new condition to be a get stage condition. So this one will play when our stage equals 20. Okay, and I'm going to right click, new action, player dialogue, and I'm just going to hit OK so that this shows up. And the player, I'm just going to add one response just for the sake of time. It's done. It's done. Okay, and now our NPC will say, fantastic, here's your money. Okay, and we're going to set parent stage 30, and requires player activation, end running scene. Okay, okay. And now if you want to, you can set up another greeting. Wait, why did I press requires player activation for this? That's not necessary. If you want to, you can set up another greeting with the condition get stage 30. If you want that to that greeting to run after you've completed the quest, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now, an alternate way you could do this is for this greeting, is it done? Have it start a whole other new scene, and have this as part of a whole new scene, and just ignore these get stage conditioned to multiple phases. I just thought I'd do it this way to like demonstrate a different way that you can do like conversation and scenes and phases and things like that. You can have all this as one. And because it's really short, this scene, it works here. Like if it was a massive great conversation, probably make it a different scene, but because this is a really short conversation, it's fine to be one scene, I reckon. So I'll just run through exactly what happens. First of all, this greeting will come up, I need your help, which is when stage equals 0. And because the stage equals 0, it will roll automatically onto this phase. And the player is then given the opportunity to accept the quest, at which point you can see stage 10 is being set. Once stage 10 is set, that will trigger, if you speak to our NPC, only this greeting, get on with it, which has stage 10. And when stage 10 is set, the objective 10 will be shown, and murder victim will be enabled. And as we can see, objective number 10 is kill the man with murder victim target. And then as we set up over here in our quest alias, the stage to set on his death is 20. Okay. And when we hit stage 20, it completes objective 10 and shows objective 20. And as we can see, objective 20 is return to the first man, which is the quest giver. And then if we travel back over to the scene, we can see that our is it done greeting only shows up when the stage equals 20, which it was set before. And then because the stage equals 20, it will skip phase 1 and bring us on to phase 2, which is the player's opportunity to say it's done, at which point stage 30 will be set and the player will be kicked out of conversation. And once stage 30 is set, the quest will be completed and the player will be rewarded with some bottle caps. So that is all that done. I'm now going to jump into the game and demonstrate that working. Okay, so here we are in the game and our NPC is over here, so let's chat to him. Hello, I need your help. There's only one response, so I'll say I'll do it. I'm not even going to bother asking him what he wants. Good to hear it. I want you to kill my enemy. There are some caps in it for you. And we're going to have to wait for this because I didn't record any dialogue, so it takes... Oh, Jesus! Okay, so there he is. He's appeared, as we would expect. And so we're just going to enable the quest so I can show you it being on there. And see, look, there's the marker. So now we're going to commit a murder. And he's dead. And if we wait a little while, there we go. Completed, kill the man, return to the first man. So let's chat him up a little bit. Hi. Is it done? Let's find out if it's done. Will we ever find out? It's done. Yes, excellent. Fantastic. Here's your money. 100 bottle caps added. And we completed it. Earns a little bit of XP and a little bit of money. So in addition, if you wanted to flesh this out a little bit more, you could give this you could create an additional phase and have it additional quest stage. Say you just label it like 100, for example, and check that as fail quest. Then give this guy's alias the same script we gave this guy's alias, only change the stage to set to be 100. So if I just murdered him without having bothered to collect the quest, it would automatically set stage 100 and fail as the quest. So you could do that as well, but I've not bothered with anything like that. I was just demonstrating how to set a stage of a quest by a murder. Hopefully you should be able to, hopefully this was clear enough that you should be able to figure it out and like apply it to your own mods in a way that's better than just, a generic tutorial way. So hopefully that was useful and hopefully that was clear. Thank you for watching and goodbye.